the video starts, head down below, make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Check out all our socials in the description and hope you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Offbeat Podcast.
Episode 16. Welcome back, people. Oof. It's been a long time now. 16. Technically, that's 16 weeks. Think about it.
Technically, we had 1 week off last week. Oh, no, we didn't. We had the week off the week before.
Yes.
But now we're back.
Now
business.
Getting a bit behind our belts as well. We've got a few exciting more guests coming up. Speaking of exciting guests, we've got one on today. Tom Jackson. I'm good, mate. How are you, mate?
Good. Just finished work here now.
Lovely.
See, that's a problem. All of us work full time, so it's a case of fitting around our busy work schedules. But I'm glad you're here, mate. Thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for having me. Thanks for coming to your house.
It's like them TikToks where it's like, enjoy your gym workout. It's like, you too. Yeah, they start working out with them.
So people go off the bus and stuff like that, and they're like, oh yeah, I love you. And you're like, oh wait.
It's when you're in a restaurant, it's like, oh, enjoy your meals.
Yeah, you too.
I always do that awkward smile. We're just doing similar things, but like, so when you get your hair cut, barber shows you the back. I've never ever said, nah, mate. Have you
ever seen it and gone, oof?
I mean,
bit sketch.
I have a couple of times, yeah. Not with my most recent barber. Shout out, Jack. I know he watches. I know he watches. So yeah, but not like for recent times.
I'm not naming names, but one time I got my hair cut and he showed me the back and it looked like stairs going up the back of my head.
Oh dear.
I think he cut my hair. Joke? I think he was doing this.
Surely it was a joke. I mean, you've got to just be taking the mick. If you've got like actual stairs going up your hair.
I mean, the worst thing was he had a dog with him that had high vis on.
Surely wanted sounds going through. I wonder what the high vis was saying. Sure, it's a blind on it.
Here to help. Yeah. So, Tom.
Yes.
Bit about you. Introduce what you do in your spare time.
Yeah. So I don't know. Talk to you, Cameron.
Whatever you want, mate.
Yeah. So, writer, director, based in Manchester. Do photography. Mostly lighting for other people's films or writing. Like, I'll write the film for him. I've had 2 films, like shorts, done in London. Apart from that, I've done my own film that's still in production, which we'll get into a bit of talking about.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
And then I've got other projects that I've been working on. Wrote my first feature while I was at uni, and that's won a global film competition. For best writer, from like, I don't know the difference.
Straight in with the flexing.
Go. So we can talk about that a bit, but I don't know the difference. There was 2 awards. There was one that was just like best writer, and there was one that was like jury selection. So I don't know what the difference is. If there was like a head guy in charge of picking.
I'm guessing a jury must have been there's multiple people involved in the decision then. So
yeah.
I'd take that as a better one.
Yeah.
I mean, more people like around.
I kept looking up online, what does jury selection mean, and I couldn't find anything online, so I think it's just something they made up.
Just get up the courts over and over again. You have to turn up.
Or it would come up for like other film awards, but it wouldn't describe what went into picking it.
Yeah.
So is that just for students?
No, it was just anyone. So anyone can enter. They've only just started. It's like within their first year of like running the competition.
Nice.
But it's like a monthly thing where they just pick it every month, and then whoever wins goes into the yearly one. So I'll be entered into the yearly one, I think. So I might win best overall for the year yet. I don't know.
We had some disappointing news the other week, you know. So the best comedy podcast was announced. The nominees. No. Offbeat weren't on there.
We weren't on there.
Offbeat weren't on there. So
there's something wrong with the system.
So I wrote a letter of complaint. I've
cried in the mirror.
We've cried in the mirror. We've moaned to everybody, but you know, back for next year. Head on down. Imagine a 6-7 subscriber podcast for that. Yeah. So do you have to pay for that?
So for any film competition, most of the time you have to like pay to enter, and it's
I
know, and it's like, oh well, because some of them it's like upwards of £100 easy to enter. This one was just like like a tenner.
Right.
I think he even got like a discount code with him trying to just get the name out there. So it's just like, oh, pay us like, I couldn't name any names for like actual competitions, but it's like pay us like over £100 and we'll also write your feedback on it as well. So it's almost like you pay.
It's a competition.
Yeah.
It's a competition, so you should really be giving us feedback anyway. Otherwise, it's why have a competition.
Or you can pay for a cheaper entry, but we won't like write back and explain why our decision is what it is. But
Basically, if you've not paid enough, it doesn't matter.
yeah, and it's like there's no guarantee that they've actually even watched it. Or most of the time, say it's like a feature script, they'll read the first 10 pages, and if they're not interested by the first 10 pages, they'll just stop reading. So it's just, but the idea is within the first 10 pages, your hook should have happened. For like talk about like writing structure, like your hook should have happened. So whatever is the exciting moment that's going to bring the audience in is not within the first 10 minutes. All your framing, all your structure of your stories off anyway.
Yeah.
So do they then like say to you, oh, we want to make this for you? Is it like a film company who does it, or is it just like an independent? So
there is certain competitions. So I've entered one with my feature. It's called Mankman.
Mankman?
Yeah.
It's about you.
So it's like,
I'm a monkey's man.
So it's a bit like Kick-Ass meets like Snatched, I'd say, where it's like a superhero film set in Manchester. With like a kid who's very Manchester, trying to fight gangsters in Manchester.
All I'm thinking of is, do you know Frank from Shameless?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of him just walking and going, all right, lad, all right.
He's more like a bit of like an Affleck's type of Manchester lad,
right,
rather than like a chavvy Manchester.
So we're talking like, here, I'm being very stereotypical here, so sorry, Affleck.
Like, it works in Vinyl Resting Place. I think with Alistair who runs it, and he's like friends with Joy who runs the creative space, and they're all in it. And it's like, so all people either based on real Manchester people that are around today that you can go and meet, or they're based off people from history.
Oh,
so
nice.
Like, the lead sort of female character who is really underdeveloped. I need to go back and rewrite it because it's like, I reread it recently with like my full-time job. I'm a teacher at media.
Mm-hmm.
I was rereading it with my students because they were like, I said to them, right,
you've
guys,
used your students as like guinea pigs.
No,
to use them as
like,
guinea pigs.
I said to them,
so guys, this is a great film. Let's read the script and how would we improve this? Your assignment today is to make my film better.
So I came up to them and was like, right, guys, what do you want to read? Because they were like, I want to write a script. And I was like, well, the best way to learn is to read first and see what other people have done. And I was like, what's your film you want to watch, like your favourite film, let's watch that. And I was like, I actually want to read one of yours. And I was like, going to management, being like, they picked this. It's like when it's up on the
officer swear
up on the lesson plans, it's like they picked to read mine. I didn't pick it. They asked me to show them. So there's a full lesson of a full day just reading my scripts.
It's just full month dedicated to me. I mean, they've done a mural for me as well. They've done
a what?
A mural.
A mural.
I knew it's a mural because I'm a football player. That's a fee for 10 days.
Oh, shout.
So basically, you're getting paid to get feedback.
Yeah.
Love that. It's all about hacking the system, really, isn't it?
Yeah. It's all
It's all about hacking the
loopholes.
system. Loopholes.
So, is this something that you've filmed, or is it you've just written? Or?
So it's only written so far. So that brings me on to, I've entered a film competition where it's like Liftoff's first writers like film competition. Liftoff's like really good resource that you can go and use, and they like support a lot of like early directors as well as like more established ones. That's why they're called Liftoff.
Yeah.
So you can enter them as like an established, but they do run special competitions for like first timers. So I've entered this one as a first time, and then if you win, you then get to like go and pitch it towards like at a pitching event.
What's the condition for a first timer? Because you are not a first timer at all, in my eyes. I suppose
for the first time, like feature scripts, it's my first feature script I've entered.
Oh, so it's all about your entries. So
well, it's the first feature script I've written and entered. Because
Right.
I've written leading up to this, I wrote shorts and stuff like that, but this was like the first like time I actually wrote anything that was over like 15 pages.
So is a feature script like that's like the full film sorted?
Yeah, well, feature scripts, anything that's over 60 pages, because every page, if like structured correctly, is supposed to be about a minute of screen time.
Right.
Okay.
So if you look at something that's like a Marvel film, and it's like it'll be probably like 120 pages script wise.
Yeah.
If not more, because they cut loads out, don't they?
Yeah. So like on the same day that I was like doing all the reading the scripts with like different people, in another class they picked the Harry Potter script. So we sat down and read that, and like
read the book.
Yeah.
Read the book is better.
Like, we had the script that went to like film.
Yeah.
Rather than the script that actually they originally wrote. So as you're reading it, there's like certain bits where it just jumps scenes, like there'll be loads of like a big chunk of scenes, and you're thinking, I wonder what they cut out there. So it's like whatever they originally had in, they just like cut.
Just completely got rid of it.
Yeah. So and they'll be there going, this is from like, but it was like a mixed match of like different drafts. So it was like these following scenes are from the yellow draft, and these following scenes are from the green draft, and stuff like that.
Imagine how long it would take.
So it's like, and it'll say at the beginning, it's like, right, this draft was done by this person, this draft was done by this person. So they had the original script that got like approved for like production, and then since then it's gone through like production edits, where they'll go like, right, the director's done his read through, the producer's done his read through, from the director's edit, and they'll just go through loads of different edits until they like go, right, that is the one we can film, and even through filming it'll still be changed.
Yeah, but it's like similarities with DJing. Like on your new track, how many?
God.
Did I listen to draft 5?
About draft 5. I'm on about draft 8 at the moment.
Draft 8.
Well, it
I was like mastering,
I couldn't remember how many like drafts they went up to, but you know, like Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah.
They got to the point where they were asking to do that many drafts that they started to just write random shit in to be like.
Don't blame him.
To just see like, are you even reading the script?
Yeah.
They'll go like, oh, we don't like that scene, change it. We feel like this would work better, and then they'd write it and go, oh, I don't like that. Can you change it? And it'd be what they changed it from originally.
Oh, so we're just trying to test them out. I would do that as well.
Yeah.
Just like start talking about a Shrek or something. Just name drop all the random things to see if you actually are reading. So, what are your favourite films all time then?
I've got like probably 3. Like the main one would be Pulp Fiction.
Good film.
I feel
Seen
like
that?
No, I've never seen it. Is Pulp Fiction?
Samuel Jackson.
Yes, yeah.
Just a speech from the Bible.
It's not even from the Bible.
Is it not?
No, it's not.
He
says it is, but it's not even actually the quote from the Bible.
Is it not?
No, it's like rewritten for the film.
Oh, mad.
Good branding, so you got to do the branding, haven't you?
And
it's like John Travolta. What's she called now? Who's from Kill Bill as well.
Oh, I can't think of her name. I know what you mean though.
Like,
the one with the dark hair.
Mia Wallace. And then you've got like the Bruce Willis in as like a boxer who's like paid to go down in the fight. Go down.
I mean, would you fight Bruce Willis?
Yeah.
I would.
No, I don't know why I said
How old do you reckon you could?
No, youngest Bruce Willis. I reckon I could have Bruce Willis when he was 14. Do you reckon he had a bald head when he was 14?
No, because you're not seeing him like Die Hard and
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, shaved. He was going. He let it go.
There's like a big theory about there's like this film where he's like a jazz singer who like timed but he's a robber at the same time, like a thief.
Yeah.
And he'll time his like robberies to his jazz songs. So he'll be there going like do whatever, like singing, going through his robbery, and it costs like some stupid amount of money. And suppose there's a visual effects department, but no one knows. But they won't say where the visual effects money went, and everyone's saying it went into like make his hairline look better.
Of course. It didn't work.
Compared to like him at the time, his hairline's very different to that in the film.
Yeah.
But if you compare like him then at the same time, like and then him in the film, it's like hairlines very fuller.
So, what were films you like then?
It's like The Thing, like John Carpenter. So it's like an 80s horror film, but it uses like entirely practical effects, but it's like better than the CGI you get today.
Are your favourite films based on like the camera shots and
it's more like the writing, I'd say, because like The Thing, it's like based around the time of like 80s horror films. So you think of like John Carpenter's the same guy who made the original Halloween as well.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So obviously, massive. Hills Have Eyes. If you not the
weird
modern, not the modern one where it's like loads of just torture porn.
Yeah, I think I don't know which one I've seen, but it was weird. I'm guessing it was the modern one.
Yeah, is the modern one where like she ends up like I don't even know if it's like he
insert clipping.
bites the head off. He like bites the head off the bird and stuff like that in the camper van, and like it's like a family of whatever, and he's there with the 2 dogs.
Even quite normal.
Yeah,
Imagine.
well,
I've not seen it.
I remember seeing that as a kid because I told my sister, and it's like I rewatched it because I got it on Blu-ray. It was like in CEX for like £1, and I was like, I remember that as a kid, and I remember the dad being set on fire in it. And I was like a little kid when I watched this, and I went and watched it again.
Why were you watching this as a little kid?
I don't, because I snuck it.
Who
out.
served you at CX? That's what I'm wondering.
I snuck it out of my sister's room, so I rewatched it as an adult. Out
Yeah.
from CEX, And I remember texting my sister halfway through. It's like, why did you let me watch this as a kid? Thinking I actually just started watching it with her, and she was like, I never did. I didn't know you watched that. Like, because she had the DVD.
Yeah.
And I just nicked it and watched it. And it's like,
Imagine you got a text back from her saying, "Oh, it explains all now."
well, it's like really like graphic like scenes in it of like all sorts of shit. And I'm thinking, why would I allow to watch this as a kid? And it's like, oh, because I never was.
Do you like horror films? I'm not a fan of horror films, mate. I think horror films are a bit dead.
I've never watched a good one.
You've never watched a good one? You've never watched a good one.
Like,
you've never watched one you've enjoyed?
I've never watched one where I thought the plot is like world-class film.
But I think it's... From horror films, they seem lazy. That's how I describe them, as like someone who's very uneducated
in the
in
film
regards to
industry. It's kind of like perceived that way because a lot of people make the start in horror because horror is like easy.
Slow budget.
In a weird way, it's easy. It's better for small budgets because you think like it's either drama, but those who want to do action films will do horror because you don't need big set pieces for a horror film, or you know, and it's just all about atmosphere and making sure like you don't. A film's scarier when you don't see the monster, which also means that you save on a lot of money because you don't have to make a CGI monster or have like the visual effects or whatever. So if you think of like, you know, when you see things of The Thing, like the actual monster in The Thing is really good because he can become anyone. He has to like simulate you and he like eats you and then he becomes you.
Right.
But in between those phases, it's like this horrible, gruesome monster. That's like a mixture of like different people and animals that are like sort of fused together in like some sort of like bubbly mess.
If you had to fight a fusion of three animals, what would you fight? Imagine like a bottom of a goat and the top of like a tiger. I reckon I'd have it.
You reckon you could have the top of a tiger?
No, if it was the top of a tiger and the bottom of a goat.
So it's got the tiger's like two front
I've
legs.
not seen like goats being able to like just walk up like almost like.
Oh yeah, goats are hard, aren't they? Yeah, that's true.
So it'd be able to climb and it'd be able to kill you.
Yeah, I'm not thought it's forever.
No,
because you should have just picked like.
And then there's a third animal in there somewhere.
Yeah,
you should have just picked like a slug, a moth, and.
Oh, that's not fun though. You need to. You need to at least, you know.
Heard of the Mothman?
You need to at least have a challenge in there, don't you?
Yeah.
It's like I remember like being in like high school and like a moth flying into me and dying by just like flying into me as I was like in the park or something.
But you just like.
And you were
flex
there
your
like,
pecs, like a rock and start
I was
playing
like-
tennis with it.
It was like me and my mates like at night running, and I remember like we were playing like hide and seek, and I dashed into some like bushes, and as I dashed in, like a moth flew out, but me running into this moth was just enough to kill it.
Did you feel bad? Did you look at like shit?
I was there thinking no, because I didn't really
You
know what
murderer.
I didn't really know what moths was, so I was just freaked out what the fuck that was.
Yeah.
Because it was like that age where you just think I don't even know what that was.
Yeah.
It was like a ghost butterfly.
My mum's terrified of butterflies, you know.
Why?
I've never known anyone to be scared of butterflies. And she's terrified of them. We went to a butterfly farm when I was really young. I was like 5, 6
That's
in
cruel.
Wales. And I just remember my mum crying in the car. It's a butterfly farm. Most harmless creature around. I honestly think it's probably the most harmless. Apart from you. And she was terrified, like crying going into it. I was like, why would you be scared of a butterfly? So whenever like, a butterfly used to come in through the window, I used to have to run in and get it out before she was panicking.
It's like, do you remember the bat thing at the zoo, like Chester Zoo? The bat.
Oh, that's scary. I wouldn't take her through that.
It's not a learner that I've had, but I was being told like, oh, we were doing like lesson planning for the year, and I was like, why don't you take like the farm group to like Chester Zoo because we have like a farm. So when you were saying goats, and it's like I've seen what goats can do firsthand.
I'm on a fight with a goat. I didn't win.
No, it was like a learner went in and he ended up just getting like headbutted by it. And I was like, oh, and there was got told this story.
Yeah, you had all the cameras on the wide angle.
Great self.
Oh yeah, like so this kid was absolutely terrified to go into like the bat enclosure, and like
It is scary.
but someone had been messing with this kid all day because I work with like some dickheads. like, they're all fine. Like they just have the days where they're just absolute twats. But I think that's all kids.
Standard school.
Yeah, that's just kids.
That's just kids.
Yeah.
And there was this kid who was like put loads of like food into this kid's like hood, And he was scared to go into the bat thing, and he was like, "No, honestly, it's fine, trust me." And he went in, and all the bats fucking swarmed him, and he freaked out. And then because he was scared and had all these bats in his head, he put the hood up.
Oh.
So, he just went, on him. So then the bats clambered on him more because all the food was everywhere.
Oh my god.
So that's why it's like Chester Zoo. It says like, "Don't not bring food in here because as soon as the bats can smell it, they'll just swarm you." So this kid who was absolutely terrified of bats ended up just being swarmed.
They're terrified. Man. Bats have got like a weird aura about them, I think. I don't know why, because they're pretty harmless, aren't they?
Mm.
Like, they're not really.
But are they?
I reckon I could beat a bat in a fight.
What's that one in like Madagascar or whatever? And it's like there's that one that's like in more of a hot country, and it's like the wingspan.
I thought you meant the film.
I did.
I thought you meant the film. I was like, I
don't remember
I
this
thought it was
scene.
King Julian.
No,
Come on,
there's that
boy.
bat in there that's like the wingspan's the size of a person,
I'd still bat
but
it.
it's like
hell.
5'3" or something like that. The wingspan.
Bat told you had that.
It's taller than my girlfriend.
And then last film, top three is like Full Metal Jacket, which is like Stanley Kubrick, and so you think like
all oldies then, aren't they?
Yeah,
How old is you? Like your old
I
films?
don't know why. It's just because like modern ones, I've like The Lighthouse. If you've heard that one, it's
No,
got, like,
I'm not.
It's
I'm
got like
not
Robert
huge.
Pattinson, like in from like
Twilight.
Yeah,
He's the beast Batman at the moment, isn't he?
yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, new Batman. It's not out yet, but
Oh.
they filmed it in Liverpool.
I think I saw someone filming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Batman was filming in Liverpool. How does that make sense?
Well, like, most of the stuff
was in the
that's
background.
do you know, like most of the stuff in New York in America, like it's like set in New York. It'll be filmed in Manchester because the prices are cheaper. But from the floor, like Manchester just looks like New York, especially like when you go like around the northern quarter.
Oh,
It
yeah,
looks
yeah,
like
yeah.
some more of like
What I'm saying, yeah, I've never been to New York. Oh, yeah. Same. Same place.
But yeah, like, you go around northern quarter and it's like they can dress up the set to look like 50s New York and stuff like that. Like before all the skyscrapers are in, or if you go around like Deansgate, it'll look like modern New York and stuff.
That's
like that from the floor.
that's what Peaky Blinders did. They filmed in
They filmed
Deansgate.
They filmed in Liverpool as well.
Yeah, went into Liverpool as well. What was Scousers? Go on, Scousers.
Go on. What the Scousers? Yes, lad.
I went to
Yes,
watch.
ah, go on,
I went
lad.
to go like Liverpool to go watch Declan McKenna, and it got cancelled on the day.
On the day, why?
Yeah, because all the band caught COVID.
Oh.
So it was all going through like post-COVID area where all gigs are on. It was like right on the day, I was in hotels, booked off work, had to like beg work because it was during term time.
Oh dear.
But we bought the tickets before I started there, so I was able to go, and it kept getting messed around. And then it was on the day I was in my like doing a half shift at work, so I was like, I'll do you a deal.
Yeah.
Because I didn't need to be there till the evening.
Do you a deal? We employ you, mate. We'll do you the deal.
And it's like I booked the whole day off, and then they were like going to be understaffed, so I was like, well, I'll do a half day for you, rather than sleep in. Because that's all would have happened. And I just would have been bored, so I thought, you know what, I'll do half a shift. And I was starting work, and I just got a message off my mate saying, yeah, gig's cancelled.
Oh, that's gutting.
We went anyway, so we had like a pretty top night in Liverpool, but it was a Monday night.
Where'd you out in Liverpool?
We went like some place called Balls Deep.
Yes, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a big ball pit that's like a nightclub.
Sick.
Yeah.
That sounds mint.
It was none of my type of music, but it was just like, fuck it. Like,
Yeah.
You didn't get out of it. You were jumping in head first, swimming around in the ball pit.
We were going to do bar hopping, and that's when we just walked in, like go in there, and they almost bought like like this massive expensive drink. So I was thinking, it was like on the board, it was like cocktails, and I just thought, oh, I'll have one. And there was one called Dancing Queen. I thought, you know what? Yeah, I'll
Go right there.
a bit of ABBA, as you know from Wilco days.
Yeah, it's a little bit of that. We used to have it, so we used to work in Wilco, and the shop used to shut at 8, and then Tom used to just go straight on the blaster, and we used to just, because at Wilco, how we do the music is, they plug it into a phone, and it's like a phone that's connected to like a radio,
Right, okay.
like nationwide. So you should just unplug it, Tom used to plug it in, blast ABBA, I used to put drum and bass on in there, it's cool on it, we'd have a great time.
It was like good old Stacey.
Good old days, good old
I
days.
went in not recently. There.
Bless.
Completely derailing the conversation. Talking about ABBA and Wilco.
So ABBA.
But yeah, we just kept up bar hopping, and it was like the drink there was like fucking £60, and he went like, you do realise this is like £60 because it was a fishbowl.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh, right.
And I didn't realise because I was just like, he brought out this like
She started singing
hollowed
money,
out.
money, money.
hollowed out
Give me
what's it
a
called now?
loan after midnight.
disco ball, like a hollowed out disco ball, and it was as like the glass.
Yeah,
And I
sick.
was like thinking, oh, that's pretty big. And it's like, yeah, well, it does cost 60 quid. And I was like, what?
How much?
And it's just like, I thought it says 12. It says like £12 there for a cocktail. And he's like, yeah, this is the share bit. And it's like, and it does say like, it's just not really obvious because it's all like neon lights and it's split by like neon paint strips that go up the wall, so it just blends in. But it's like shared drinks
Sharers
starting from 30. And I think
Starting from 30.
it's proper pricey in it. And
I've never been in myself, but
I'd use my eyesight. Well, we're all blind, so we
Yeah,
I'd
I just,
be like, oh, sorry, mate, my glasses were fogged up.
I'm not bloody paying 60 quid.
yeah, so I ended up being like, yeah, I don't quite want that one.
After he's made, was it after he's made it?
No.
Imagine.
He started. He was like, you do want this one, right? It's like this much, and I was like, what? Luckily, he didn't make it. He asked
do you
me.
do tap water?
And it's like, so it went all right.
We're not in Liverpool. Oh, I shouldn't be saying it. We've got loads of Scouse guests wanting to come on.
We have.
You can bully Manchester, don't we?
It weren't too bad in the end. Luckily, he was quite chill.
Should have gone McCooley's, mate. You'd love McCooley's. McCooley's is a big Irish bar which is on Concert Square. You would absolutely love it in there. Trust me.
Like we went to the Beatles bar, which was like all my music.
Was that on Matthew Street?
I couldn't tell you because I've only been to Liverpool
okay.
once.
Near Cavern Club, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like the next day, you know what I realised? Like the Lush there's 3 floors.
The Lush is in
like
the bath place.
Yeah, it's like 3
Sick.
stories. So you go in and they've got like little. I can't believe I went to Liverpool and the biggest thing that I left with was, oh my god, the Lush is 3 floors. And I think Manchester's pretty similar size city, and our Lush is just teeny. And we have 2, don't we? I know the other one's even smaller. And you go in there and it's like 3.
I love how into Lush you are.
It's 2 stories, and then the third store's like an on-site spa.
Have you ever used a shower gel from there?
Yeah.
Elite.
All I ever buy is Lush stuff.
Lush is quality. Have you never? Come on, mate.
It's expensive as anything.
Yeah, I know, but you don't get.
Get your own bargains.
I think that, I buy it. I only have to buy it once a month, whereas every 2 weeks usually I have to get some.
Not just that.
It's like quite
Christmas.
quality.
Stock up. Christmas, birthdays. You need to think about it. Your birthday is literally slap bang in the middle of the year.
Yeah.
You've got the most perfect birthday
quality.
around. Right in the height of summer. The only time it weren't perfect was when we were 18.
Yeah.
Because you didn't come out of us for.
For a long time. And then when I did come out, you were border clubs.
It's like mine's 10th of December. So it's like it's alright. I get it early in the year, so I'm alright to go on everyone's nights out. But at the same time, it's like 15 more days and it's Christmas.
Oh.
Yeah.
Luckily, I never had that thing where someone would like wrap your present in half, birthday present half, like Christmas wrapping. And they'd go, oh, it's your joint present for you. I never quite got that. I was like lucky enough. I always used to get like a $5 on one and a $5 on the next.
Yeah.
So rather than like just £10.
Yeah.
So it's not the worst in the world because I was quite lucky. But I know like people around the same time were saying like, oh, I hate my birthday.
Yeah,
it's so close to Christmas. But I think it was just because I was spoiled as a kid.
Yeah. Yours is good. Now we're out of exam season. Well, not in exam season. We're not in college or anything anymore.
Yeah. For April 20th, same day as Adolf Hitler. Not shouting him out. On that note, should we have a break?
At least we know when your dinner party's happening.
Of course, you can, mate. That's what I'm thinking of Hitler. You and the boy.
Yeah, let's call it a break. On that.
Let's go,
Always
mate.
on Hitler.
Yeah, we'll pause on Hitler. We'll be back for part 2. We're going to talk about music, I think.
Yeah.
Because we haven't spoken about
Music.
No.
Yeah, so Tom's into his indie music, into his rock, his band. Totally
Sweet.
different. We've not spoken about it on podcast before, so yeah. See you in
Cool.
part 2, guys.
Part 2.
Part 2, welcome back.
Welcome back. Cool, let's go.
Welcome back.
I thought you were going to take the lead then, Dan, 'cause
Yes.
you just started off so strong. You were like, yeah, part 2. And then you're like,
I was going to, but then when you just have a block in your mind, you just don't know what you're going to say.
very far.
Yeah, but it's back. So, before we were talking about your script writing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, how long does it take you to write like a script like that?
It's like how long's a piece of string? It's like,
Yeah.
So it
Yeah,
depends.
yeah.
Like so it also depends how long it takes me to actually sit down and write it.
Motivation, innit? It's a problem.
Yeah,
Same with you with your tracks,
I have
innit?
like an issue at the moment because this year I've been like really unwell, both like mentally and like a bit physically. So I've had to go for blood tests. Luckily, all clear now, so all cleared up what I So hopefully I'll be a bit better.
Yeah.
one, I've had no energy, so it means like I've not been able to go to the gym because by the time I finish work, I'm just like I need to sleep.
Yeah.
Because of what was going on. They didn't really know. It just seems to have cleared up on its own. And then the other one was because I weren't going to the gym. I gained a bit more weight and stuff like that, so then I ended up feeling shit anyway. So I finish work, sit down, and just think I can't be asked to write anything.
Getting that mindset, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So because I've cleared up now, starting going back to the gym, got more energy again, hoping everything will start taking off again.
Yeah.
So when it comes to, I can write quite quickly if something hits you and you just take off with it and you get through it. It's quite easy. So a lot of it's planning, and how well you planned means how quick it will be as well. So if you planned it all out and just gone, right, here's this, and here's that.
Easy in theory, though, innit?
Yeah, and then you can just sit down and like do it, almost. But it's like the clearer you plan, the easier it is to write. Because a lot of people, like, you see in movies and they sit down and like whenever it's a writer, they just sit down and start writing, and it doesn't work like that.
No.
Like you'll have like notebooks and things like that. Like I have like cue cards and go like, right, for this like point. So I use like a Blake Snyder like model called Beat It Out, and it's like opening image, page 1. Like within the first like 5 pages, my theme's stated. So it's like, say like it's fatherhood, you'll see like a dad like getting out of bed and helping his kids like get ready for school and stuff like that. It's all about like the dad being a dad. Or like if it was absent fatherhood, you'd see like the single mum and the whatever.
Yeah.
Is that storyboarding kind of sort of thing?
So it's all like plotting it out. So like storyboarding's like plotting out your shots. So you'll do like your shot list, and then you'll go right.
Shot list.
Yeah. So
sounds sounds like something.
So and then the storyboards where
Like a gangster.
they draw it out by hand, and they'll say, right, here's how it's going to be framed, and they'll literally draw it out by hand. They'll have like an artist who does it for them.
Oh no.
Or like most people, if they're
That'd be a cool
Italian
job.
enough,
That'd be a
will do it
great
themselves.
job.
Or most people will just do like stick figures and just say like, this is kind of like a rough idea of how it's going to look. So then when the cameraman gets it, they can go like, can visualize it all and say, right, that frame is right, because the producer and director's already signed off on it.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because it's like I worked with someone who was like, in like uni as like my film, and he was like, oh, I've hired an artist who has a storyboard, and I was like, right, brilliant, hold off on it, let's get like a confirmed shot list. And he came back and was like, oh, here's the storyboard, and I was like, what? And it's like, you'd only do one scene for free, and I said, hold off until we have like a confirmed shot list, and we'll have him do all these like really nice shots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he came back, and it was just like, shot of me, like say it was me and you, but like shot of me, shot of you, shot of me, shot of me, and it would just be the same shot over and over again. I was like, why have you wasted our one free like scene on like a shot to shot thing rather than let's look at what scene's gonna happen.
Let's plan it out. Yeah.
Like, and it's just like really, and it could have been really nicely, because they were brilliantly drawn.
Yeah.
But it was just like, this is not what I had in mind for the film.
Yeah.
I had a lot more inventive sort of cinematography that I wanted to use. And like this is just people going ahead of themselves. Like he is a talented DOP, just didn't think at the time.
DOP?
Like director of photography.
Right, okay.
So, is it the same with you? Do you when you're doing your tracks?
Yeah.
Do you have to like completely plan that out, or
No.
do you not write it down? Do you just think, oh, I need a snare here, I need a, like,
to be honest,
yeah.
You'll have an idea of what you want to do with, like, say, like the drums or the basses or whatever it might be.
The theme, like the feel takes you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually I'll just base off some sort of weird idea I have in my head. I'll get a synth like that or something, and then I'll base everything around that. So, like, for example, I don't know why, I was listening to some jazz.
Love that. Yeah, why not?
And I was thinking, this would sound nice with, like, some liquid D&B drums and stuff like that. So I thought, right, I'll start try and make some sort of jazz-like synth and then go from there with it. And then just take that idea and run with it.
Yeah, I rate that.
But it's less planning, it's more just whatever comes.
See what Flavor D does? So she always has Flavor D, she likes to soundbite lots of things. So you'll be listening to like one of their songs at like a festival, and she'll have like, I don't know, like a traffic light noise or something like that, and you'll be thinking about it, and you won't think about it when you obviously like in the radio listen to the song, and then like the next day you'll be walking down the street, you'll hear it, and you'll be like, whoa. Be like, whoa, what's happening here? I did it all the time. I do it all the time with like Flavor D.
So she just samples whatever she
samples
wants.
everything, but most DJs do.
Yeah.
That one that went around for like Billie Eilish's Bad Guy, it's like the noise that the crossing makes. And,
Yeah.
He always pops up on TikTok as like this interview. I don't even listen to Billie Eilish, but like when we talk about music, really indie guy, Billie Eilish. It was always like this interview that comes around on TikTok.
I was say, this indie guy. We currently talked about gangsters, Lush, Billie Eilish. We're not
Balls deep.
And it's like it was like, there was this crossing sound in Australia, and then the background noise in Bad Guys, just the crossing sound in Australia.
Clever though, clever brain that in it to make that link. It's a clever brain.
Well, you know, Billie Eilish's producer that produces all the stuff is actually a brother.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, you know, like Kate Nash, she did like Alfie.
Yeah, Kate Nash Foundations and that.
Yeah, that's
everyone knows Kate Nash Foundation.
It's Lily Allen, isn't it, for Alfie? Because it's like Alfie Allen. Yeah, it's Alfie Allen, but he's the guy off Game of Thrones who was like Theon.
Really?
Greyjoy was like Alfie Allen.
Oh, right.
And so that song all about a little brother in a room smoking weeds, all about, you know, Theon
Greyjoy.
Flailing.
It's always one of those things that always came up back when Game of Thrones was massive and everyone was dead excited, and then I've never seen anything like drop off like this.
I know, yeah. So the ratings that everyone's talking about, it's just gone.
I was watching it, so I got to series 5 when the last series came out.
And everyone was just going,
I thought there's no point in watching this now, especially because I watch it on Sky Atlantic as well, and it's just a pain. You can't keep up to it. It's not like Netflix or like a streaming site. I was like, I gave up with it. Not for me.
Because I was doing, I was getting ready to do like a YouTube series where I review each season.
Yeah.
And I was getting ready, and I was doing
the
first season.
I watch all stuff like that.
Yeah, and I was thinking, this would have been really good. And I was gonna go and like, right, here's like, I was watching every episode from the beginning, giving each one like a rating in different areas. So I was saying like the story, the action, and what these 5 areas that made Game of Thrones Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, right, let's rate them, and then see how it's like the last, because it was back when the reviews started to come in as being terrible series, and I thought, let's see if it stacks up as like, is it as bad as we think it is?
Yeah.
And we look back at all the old seasons.
And was he on CS?
Yeah. I got through the first season, my write-up, and I was writing the script, and like the final episodes of Game of Thrones, I just thought, this has just killed my interest in doing a Game of Thrones series.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, what is the point? Because I was going to do like a series called like The Film Fixer, and I thought I'll go through terrible films and say what changes needed to have happened, like a bit of like a rewrite.
Bit like
Cinema Sins. Cinema Sins is sick. Cinema Sins is massive, but it's
45 seconds of roll credits.
And I was like thinking,
roll credits.
it would have been like, a decent little series. Looking at like things like The Room, if you've seen that.
I think I might have done. Is that the one on Netflix or?
No, it's this really like famous terrible film that was made by this guy called like Tommy Wiseau. And it's that you would have seen the meme where it's like, I did not hit her, I did not. It's bullshit. And he like throws the water bottle and it's like, I did not.
I would not.
Hi,
yeah.
Mark.
Don't think so.
People will know what I'm on about, hopefully.
To me, my creative.
When you're in the film industry, you assume like, because you're in a bit of an echo chamber when it comes to like pop culture and stuff like on people. You feel like everyone just knows about these certain things. And then you mention it in a conversation, like, what's that?
Yeah.
So it's hard to gauge when you're around other like filmmakers what's like common knowledge, what's not. Because for us, it's always a big meme because it costs like £5 million to make. Nobody knows where the money came from. Everyone thinks he's like has their own theories. He says he used to sell leather and denim, but he
drugs.
Yeah. The rumors is he's like, because he's like weirdly Polish, but was very like.
Weirdly Polish?
No,
how can someone be weirdly Polish?
No, he was Polish.
That's clipped.
He was
and we've got our teaser.
he was like Polish or something, like Scandinavian, but then wouldn't like, he would clearly, because his accent.
Yeah.
But he used to say like, oh no, I'm American. And he'd be like, your accent's clearly like not American. I was like, no, I'm American. And, but where are you from? It's like,
what parts of Poland do you think are weirdly Polish?
Here's a line. And then because he was just dead avoidant on asking questions, wouldn't say how old he was. No one really knows like his actual name's Tommy Wiseau or not. I think he is, but
probably not.
But as it cost like £5 million, it's stupid money. And that was just for like film production and casting, like distribution, and like he owned like a flat. He owned a flat in like Las Vegas Central, and then owned a house that was like a 3-story house on the outskirts of like Los Angeles and stuff like that. So, and he used to turn up to like set with a new car in like a new tailored suit and all sorts. And do you know like that famous? You've probably seen it on GTA. You know the famous sort of like billboard that like Hollywood rent out all the time for like the latest blockbuster.
Yeah.
He rented that out for like 3 months. That would have cost like something like over £100,000, like over, and he'd already spent 5 million on this like
OP podcast.
film.
OP podcast.
Free podcast.
OP podcast.
Free podcast. Don't know what you mean.
Do you reckon I'm get that billboard?
Possibly.
Do you reckon get a GoFundMe?
Hey, we
Guys,
could do.
if you want a hoodie.
No, honestly, we've been developing these hoodies
Yes, we
for a
have.
very long time.
Good day. No, but yeah, we got these hoodies. Gone down well as well.
Yeah, we've had a bit of positive feedback on them. Obviously, a bit of a
We weren't going to sell them.
prototype. We weren't going to, but we've had 6 people message already.
Did it?
So, if you want one, let us know.
Let us know.
We'll sort you out.
I want to talk a bit about your radio show.
Yeah.
Because I think that's quite an interesting thing, because not many people can say, I've got a radio show. So we saw on Indieverse, isn't it?
No, so the actual show's Indieverse, and then the like station it's on is Indie Rocks.
Indie Rock.
Right.
Yeah, so my mate Charlie, who I do the show with, who was on my uni course, just messaged me saying they're looking for like people to do a show if you want to do it as a two. So I messaged him. It's all like volunteer. It's not like, you know, like we
It's
get
just
paid
like
to do
building
it.
yourself. Yeah,
Yeah,
of
so
course.
it's just sort of like people who are like, most of the people that are presenters are on like music sort of like courses, either like as production.
Music journalism, stuff like that.
Yeah, or like want to go into a career of radio. For me and Charlie, it was just sort of something to do because it was during
Fun.
lockdown. It was coming up to a year, so it was like just before like we broke up for Christmas. You know, like, broke up the lockdown for Christmas and went back into it. So it was during lockdown. We couldn't do anything. We just thought, should we just do this radio show thing? So I messaged Paul, who's like the owner of the station. He went, do as a demo. So we did this like show of just sort of like Indieverse. We thought of this name.
So what do you have to do then? Do you have to just... Are you mixing or are you just...
Just like literally just talking for like random sort of similar to this, but then we just break up with songs. So it's like just filming a podcast.
But you just break up constantly?
So
All right, now.
yeah, and then you just go like, oh, you know, like, oh, this reminds me of this track. Like put that on.
Yeah.
So it's like it's Indieverse, so we play loads of like indie rock, but we kind of get away with a few odd things. Like we joined in Christmas, so I had like Rage Against the Machine on for like Christmas.
Yeah.
And then because I listen to like loads of metal as well as like, but not so much anymore.
You've got a
to be fair.
massive range of music taste.
Yeah, 'cause,
You've
like,
got a huge,
like,
huge range.
I've seen like Disturbed live, and I've seen like Ailstorm, which is like a pirate metal band. But then on my birthday this year, I'm gonna go see Chemical Brothers.
Chemical
Chemical
Brothers.
Brothers.
Yeah,
Good.
they're doing
I
a-
saw Chemical Brothers at...
At Creamfields.
Yeah, and it was honestly the weirdest thing. I had no idea what was happening for an hour.
Yeah.
It's just a weird set because it's
Yeah.
just... And at one point, they had like these robots come out on stage, and everyone was like, sorry, but how is this relevant? It just wasn't relevant. It was the same track being
Did
played.
everyone else see it, or was it just you?
No, everybody.
Everybody saw it.
Everyone was like, how is this relevant? And they came out and just walked back off. It went for about a minute and you're like, what's the point of that? What's the pointless thing in the world?
Well, they have like horsepower, don't they? Where that's tracks or like the actual music video is like a robot horse.
It's just...
Because when I was
okay.
editing your thing, all I had almost Chemical Brothers because I was like,
Yeah,
I'm trying
yeah.
to like
Just
put
get into
Chemical
the
Brothers vibes in it.
So for anyone that doesn't know, Tom put together one of our promo videos for Vibe, which was sick. Considering you said you didn't even do video editing that much, it was spot on.
Because I don't. My course did like one module on editing, so I never really classed myself as an editor because I was just
Yeah.
like I know enough to kind of get by.
Yeah, you know the basics, yeah.
And it was just sort of like, you know what, fuck it, I'll go all out on this one.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I said like, oh, I won't charge you because I thought it was gonna be shit. So I was like,
Yeah.
I hate.
Then you saw when it came out, you're like, shit.
Probably should have charged. It.
It was like old school vibe that I thought.
Yeah, it was
like
very
old
good.
school. Do you know like the old 90s, like...
The footage you already gave me already had like a grain over it. And I was
Yeah.
like, well,
Yeah.
I have to put a grain over everything now. So
I like the grain over it though. I think
Yeah.
it looked... Do you know like Hacienda sort of vibes?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought it looked
But,
like.
all my
It being like a
stuff's
house
proper
event.
all
Made
my
sense.
sort of stuff's more retro anyway, so that's why we're
Yeah.
saying like older films, like I collect records, so I have like over 140 records now, like albums.
Like vinyls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
What's like the best vinyls you've got? Have you got any like rare ones?
I've
You can
got
get some really rare ones,
I've
can't
got
you?
the original press of Meat Is Murder for like the Smiths, and that's like over 60 quid for that one.
Ooh.
I have this single, and I'm not sure. I looked it up, and the price it said was like £300 for this one single, because it was like, but I think it's with the set of like that came with it.
Okay.
Right.
So my mate bought this like special edition Ailstorm album, and it came in like a chest, and it came with like the actual album on CD. Like a bunch of other collectibles, like a T-shirt and like a duck that was like a pirate duck. But the only thing it came with was like a record with a single on, and it was like a censored version of the song "Fucked by an Anchor," and then another one was like pie, but it was called like "Flicked with a Sausage," the actual censored one. And then the other one was like "Pirate Pizza Party," and it was just two joke like songs that were just put on a single.
Right.
But they were only on that single.
It's quite rare.
It's like collectors.
Yeah. So they're online now because everyone's ripped it off the vinyl.
You're fuming, aren't you?
No, not really.
in touch with them.
It's still worth £300.
Hey, mate.
So
There you go.
I have that, but because it was like a jokey thing, it weren't made to like be like listened to really. Like it's a coloured vinyl, and you don't tend to like see, but if you hold it up to a light and you put your hand over it, you can see your hand through.
Yeah.
It's that thin. So because of that, just playing it like damages it. So,
Right.
Because it's like really poorly made, so anything that's in good quality is really hard to come by.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But look, mine's been behind glass, so because I just framed it, because I don't tend to listen to singles.
Mm-hmm.
Because you sit down for 3 minutes and then you have to get back.
It's not
definitely
like, not worth
yeah.
it.
So it's not like when you're listening to someone on like Spotify. Or something,
Yeah.
like,
You can just skip it, can't you?
yeah, but as soon as that song's over, you got to get up and change it. And usually when I'm like listening to my records, it's while I'm writing, because it gives me that moment to like walk away from the desk, and then come back to something. So I like that while I'm working, because it gives me those like, because I know a lot of people go and just like they'll write for 15 minutes, and then for 5 minutes they'll go do like a job around the house.
Makes sense.
So
Just keep you active and stuff.
Yeah, so it keeps you active, but it gives you that like little couple of minutes away from the like you're writing, to go and then come back and with it like slightly fresh eyes and sort of refresh the moment.
Makes sense.
So like they'll, as I say, like do half an hour, go take 5 minutes to go do the dishwasher or something like that, and then come back and sit down, and then all of a sudden it's not like they've just been dragged through it.
Yeah.
It feels more like easier to work through. So for me to like get up, flip over my record, so I just stopped. I heard it click.
John, check.
Yeah.
John, quick check.
Yeah, well, quick break.
Part 2.5.
Part
Well,
2 points. Well, technically part 3. Yeah, we had
part
some
3.
camera difficulties. Let's just say
Full cards.
full cards, but we're back.
We're back.
We're back. 10-minute smash.
Yeah. Cheeky.
You're used to it.
I'd say 10 minutes. Yes. I wish. We're on some music. So you alluded, didn't you? Like what you like to listen to music, kind of on your record collection. So what? Obviously, you mentioned you like your metal.
Yeah. I don't tend to listen to that much anymore. I've kind of like moved out of it. I've become a lot more like mellow and want just chill stuff on. So
Like Bring Me the Horizon.
well, they were one of the first bands I saw live.
Same. I saw Bring Me at the Arena.
I think we were at the same gig,
Who was it supporting? Was it Don Broco?
I don't remember.
Don Broco
we got there late.
I think it was Don Broco who supported them. Well, I've seen Don Broco twice.
They do Papa. Am I getting?
Papa Roach.
I'm getting a completely different band, aren't I?
Don Broco sung. What Don Broco people? Don't
we
you wanna
got
be automatic? Tune. It's a banger.
We got there late because I had my parents' evening at college the same night, so I had to like.
It would. Yeah, it's exactly the same
Was it
gig
college
because
days,
it was college. I went with Michael Francis. We had a right off.
Yeah.
Quality, yeah.
So I went with
well
my
good night.
partner at the time because her friend backed out, and I was like, "Oh, I might take my ex." And I was like, "You're not taking your ex."
Axe.
Ex.
Oh, I thought you said you axe. I was like, imagine trying to smuggle that through the scanners.
I was like, no, take me, because I was like, I didn't even know who Bring Me were. I was just like, I was just uncomfortable with the idea of my ex going to a concert with her ex. So I was like, no.
Ben, you would take your axe.
So I was like, take me, even though I had no clue. So like, that day I was researching like, who are Bring Me the Horizon, and like listening to music.
Shadow
like,
Moses.
Mine were more like Disturbed and more like AC/DC and older metal.
Right.
But not that Disturbed's old metal. I think they were 90s, like more like.
They're still around now, aren't they?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they were probably. If it weren't for like, I went and watched Cortinas recently, as well as New Order.
Oh, New Order, Heaton Park.
Yeah. So I saw Hot Chip there as well, but we were a little late because I finished work. The first set went on at 5. Well, the doors opened at 5. First set went at 6, and I finished work at 4:30. so I couldn't get
killer.
there in time. So because me and my mate needed time to have a few drinks and stuff like that first, anyway.
Bit of Dutch courage.
Yeah.
I don't know what Dutch courage for, actually.
No, you know how expensive it was there for like drinks. So I think we paid like something like
Heaton Park's shit.
I think we paid something like 20 quid and we got like just 2 pints.
I think Heaton Park's probably the worst venue I've been to in Manchester. I think it's awful.
Yeah.
Horrendously bad. Old Trafford's a good day.
Yeah.
Old Trafford's a very
Heaton
good
Park's
day.
where they do
We
Park
were
Life.
Cortinas was Old
Awful.
Trafford.
Heaton Park.
Cricket grounds was the cricket grounds.
Yes, cricket grounds, they're good.
I had a really nice ice cream there when I was at the game.
What flavour was it?
It was just like a 99 flake, but it was just
Oh, I love Mr. Whip. Mr. Whippy's better.
dancing to some blossoms and ice cream. with
Yeah.
my friend.
Blossoms were awful, I thought. Well, not awful.
Really?
We're not awful, but they weren't as good because they played a lot of the new stuff, didn't they?
Why were you there as well for Cortinas?
Yeah, of course I was.
I don't know.
I always got, yeah. Well, me and Jared had a thing where, so we saw Cortinas on the big 10th anniversary tour in Sheffield, and they played to like a 1,000 capacity crowd. It was we're never going to see them top that.
Yeah.
'Cause it was just an old set, and it was just amazing. We're never going to top them. And yeah, whenever they come, we're like, oh, we can't miss it just in case it's like out of this world. And every time we see them, we're like, it was good, but it weren't quite
Yeah.
back then. So yeah, I think we need to cut around his head.
But like my favourite band's the Smiths, so obviously Johnny Marr.
Yeah,
I was
Johnny Marr was quite good.
I was fucking, but I don't know. Do you know that front area that was like VIP?
Yeah.
I snuck into there with my mate.
Nice.
So I went-
Get your own separate toilets
Chipped
there
in.
and everything.
Huh?
You jibbed in.
Yeah, I just snuck in. I just walked through and they didn't stop me, and then they gave me a band on the way in as well.
Sweet.
So they didn't even check, and they just gave me a band as I walked through the gate. Because supposedly there was like issues there where people who should have been in there weren't getting bands and stuff like that. So like my mate, because she was a girl, she just went, "Oh, I'm on my own and all my friends are in there," and he was like, "Oh, I can't leave this girl out here."
Yeah.
And then I'm just there, stood there going, "She's leaving me on the other end." So then the guy weren't looking. I just went through. Just did this like really awkward big step, just like
Tiptoeing.
and then I got to the second
Big
gate.
panther.
I got to the second gate and he just gave me a band. So that's like, cause I was like pretty buzzing because they don't really do physical things anymore for gigs, and I'm gutted because I want.
I used to collect tickets, mate.
I want my wardrobe
tickets.
tickets because I have, like, Ailstorm Disturbed, but then obviously a massive break when COVID hit.
Yeah.
And then nothing. I can't get.
Yeah.
And we come out of COVID and there's no physical tickets anymore.
I
It's
hate
like,
it. Jerry Cinnamon had physical tickets and I was buzzing. I was well happy with it. Physical tickets are just I love physical tickets.
so much better.
Yeah, I
so
don't like
much
e-tickets.
Because you got not only it's like a like you go through your little box, can't you?
Yeah,
You've
you
got
can just have a look. You
tickets
can have a
and-
look and you can be like, oh, that gig was quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
Because they were talking about this on like Radio X, and they were saying like you don't tend to actually get like memories so much of gigs of like songs. It's more like sort of moments in the gig.
Oh,
And
definitely.
it's so easy to forget like, oh, I actually saw them. Like
Me-
your memory, you'll have a memory that I've seen them live.
Yeah.
I'll come on the radio and go, oh, I've seen these live, but you'll never really go like, oh, they played this.
This,
set.
yeah, it's this moment.
But you'll like I obviously from like Ailstormer, like it was years ago now, but I remember just being like, right, so everyone this side of the room, that side of the room. When I say go, I want you to like rip off all your clothes and fuck yourselves to death, because it was like proper metal.
And did you?
I'm alive, so.
You had a good try.
I knocked over, looked up, and I just had some guy's bare ass to my face. But we all went. They started.
Was this a concert or is
Yeah.
this something a bit
I
different?
know. So they started playing and we all went.
I'm a bit
stopped
disturbed
he
after
stopped
this.
the song. He like stopped the song and he went, "Did I
Could be a
say go?"
storm coming your way.
And he was like, "Did I say go?" And he was just like, stopped the whole gig and just said, "Did I say go?" Like we played this at like 3 different venues and you're the first to go before I said go. Get back fucking positions. And then he played half the song and went, "Well, by the way, you can go."
Sorry.
As I forgot to tell you.
So with going to like metal gigs and that, I've always seen videos online of people doing like the big wall of death.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen one of them?
Yes, that was that one.
Was that one?
Yeah, I don't tend to do too much stuff because I just kind of want to just enjoy it. I'm not
Yeah.
really like a mosh.
Yeah.
But like I go Satan's and I'll do like a bit of headbanging and stuff like that. You wake up the next day and you swear you got whiplash. And it like I love doing all that sort of stuff, but like I don't tend to like enjoy being in the mosh pit and stuff like that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I just feel uncomfortable with
Yeah.
it all.
Makes
It's like,
sense.
I got like I was saying, like I got a blood test and it was all clear. I got a blood test before going in Satan's, and for like the last 2 weeks, I've had a bruise on my arm because of where the blood test was. And like everyone's like, "What's happened to your arm?" Because it's been like bruised for ages, and it was really bad. I was like, "Yeah, just Satan's in the blood test." Or like I got headbutted once in like Satan's.
Is this a club?
Yeah, so it's a club.
Do you know where Satan's is?
People-
It's under the. Do you know on Oxford Road? It's under the
like
arch. Do you know where Font is?
Right, yeah.
Right,
it's-
round the corner from there, innit?
It's not there.
I thought it was round the corner from there.
It's quite close to city centre, like Piccadilly.
What's one I'm thinking of that's underneath there then?
Isn't that like, I don't even know.
Fun.
Isn't that just like
I thought that was Satan's. I just presumed that was Satan's because I knew
no.
that was like a rock mosh.
that
sort of-
one's I think that's a bar in it.
I don't
A
know.
pub.
I've
I
never
know
walked
you've got-
past it. I just
know you've got
thought
like
it was
the metal
Satan's.
pub that's like quite close, so it's like the engine room or something like that.
Mm.
That was on like the main road, and then but Satan's is where they've just had that new build recently near Piccadilly Gardens.
No.
There's like a new hotel around there, but if you go down I think it's Princess Street, you go down there, it's like quite close to Canal Street.
Right.
And you'll see this like big metal like gate, and through there Satan's.
Yeah.
But it's like a metal club. A lot of the time, I don't enjoy it so much anymore because you go in and they're playing like, you know, like just sort of emo 2000s-y stuff, and I was never really.
I'd have an absolute
but
great time there. Emo 2000s and my era.
But I do, or it's like modern emo, and I'm like I'm not really into modern emo.
I'm not listening to it
and
all the time.
I love like things like you know, like Fall Out Boy and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But it was
Is that emo Fall Out Boy then?
not really
Pop
but,
punk, innit?
Yeah,
really?
it's pop punk. But,
Right.
like I'm more,
Not in pop punk, it's pop.
Bring Me in My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, sort of
Right.
stuff.
Fall Out Boy is about poor example.
Yeah, you Blink 182s, bands like
Yeah.
that, like old school Paramore,
Whiny.
Right.
stuff like that.
is
Sleeping with Sirens.
Evanescence.
Yeah.
Oh, wake me up inside.
And it,
Save me! Oh, tune, massive banger.
and it's all that like, you know, like proper like I'm trying to think now. It's like there was like a TikTok that went round of like every like 2000. It's like I'm at Burger King with my Burger Queen. It's like,
Have you seen All Time Well went massive on it, didn't it as well?
Mm.
You know, a bit of controversy at the moment. Won't talk about that, but yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
It's like not talk about Kasabian and things. They're all back together.
On our first
We know we did it, don't we?
our first TikTok clip was me making a Kasabian joke.
Oh. They're back together, aren't they? Doing like a set, but it's just I think it's like
Serge.
the guitarist.
It's
is-
just Serge who's top boy. Jared went. Gutted, didn't invite me. Yep.
Shout out Jared.
He went with his mum though,
Oh.
so fair enough. But yeah, apparently it was out of this world, and Kasabian the best band I've seen live. So I was thinking, do you know we were talking about like things you remember from like gigs. Like me and Jared play a game now, so when we go to gigs, we have like a rivalry, and we have to find someone because we talk to random people.
Right.
I can't be in a queue, make eye contact with someone and not say hello. I can't do it. So like we try and find a person who's from the furthest away.
Okay.
And I'm reading champion because I'm always so Jared will make the conversation and I'll always go in with, so where are you from, mate? I always undercut him every time. But yeah, we've met people from Portsmouth, met people from Southampton.
When I was at that Hailstorm gig, I met someone from Germany.
Nice,
Yeah.
you won. Fair enough.
That we were all in the queue, and you were just like we were talking about like random gigs, and I was like, "Yeah, so I'm from Germany," and it was like I was just in Manchester, and I knew there was a metal gig going on. I was on holiday, so I thought I'll tie it in.
Check it out, yeah.
Sick.
And then he was telling me how like I'm seeing Rammstein's after next year, like around summertime, seeing Rammstein. They were like a German sort of like techno metal band fusion thing.
Yeah.
Like brilliant. Like,
Well, they do Hast.
yeah,
Is that
do
them?
Hast.
Yeah,
and you probably find stuff that you can mix into sets
Yeah.
all the time from them. Especially like the intro to Deutschland.
Right.
The intro to that's quite good. But like even Stacey was like into fucking,
Is it that old school kind of like rave?
yeah, they're like I don't know. I wouldn't say Prodigy quite. I don't know.
Similar
They've
vein.
got their own quite unique thing.
Yeah.
But if you almost imagine like a foreign Prodigy in a weird way.
Yeah.
Like probably anyone who's actually into him is probably thinking, "What the fuck is this guy on about?" But yeah, like they were saying, like, "Oh yeah, we toured with like them, just following them." So went to every gig and went all the way around Germany, just like following Rammstein doing like. I'm just thinking that's brilliant. I wish I could just do that. Get a caravan and just fucking
Yeah.
follow like a random band around.
So, off that vein, then, if you'd like to do something like that, and obviously do your videography work, would you ever look to do event photography and stuff like that?
One of my
Can you please come and do mine?
my favourite photographer's Mick Rock, and the way he did was like he used to just go to like bars around Cambridge and just take photos.
Yeah.
And Ace Gallagher does that at the moment.
Who does so?
And Ace Gallagher, Noel's daughter.
Okay.
Noel's
Yeah.
photographer is an Ace.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's done loads of it. I don't know what, because of the Drop Me podcast she was on. She seemed to sound, but yeah.
Recently?
No, ages ago. Ages ago.
He did like the photography of David Bowie, who is my favourite artist by far. And he did like photography of David Bowie, like Iggy Pop, like Billy Joel. And what it was just like he just took photos of people around at pubs and like, oh, you're pretty good, would you want to be like paid to go on tour with me? Like, you can
Go on then.
You can go to all these parties I'm going to and just take photos while you're there, but like just make sure you don't take photos of me while I'm doing my drugs, and you can have some. So it's like, here, come take some like cocaine with me and like go and do like a load of photography of me at parties and stuff like that with all my friends and meet all my friends. Like, so we did like photography for Queen and stuff. So like I've even got like one of his photos as like my backdrop, which is like Freddie Mercury riding Darth Vader, like at a gig, and he's like on Darth Vader's shoulder, and Darth Vader's there like hands on his hips and stuff.
Yeah.
And Freddie Mercury is just on his shoulders singing "We Are the Champions," and that like so one of
that'll live for you for a lifetime. That memory, won't it?
I think it's one of his anyway, because I know he did it. Freddie used to just finish all his sets like that. He'd do for a lot of them anyway. That was his encore. He'd come on riding Darth Vader singing for quite a few of them.
That's so strange.
Freddie Mercury, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, I think on Freddie Mercury, should probably wrap up, to be fair, because there's no topping Freddie Mercury and David Bowie, is it really?
There's not.
So yeah, quick shout out. Do you want to shout anything out, my friend?
Yeah, go on. If you want to follow photography wise, we talked a load about what I do. If you go to the Hedgehogs Photography, that's all my work, and then through that my website. So again, you can just follow it through there. And there's a few of my films on there that I wrote, the ones that were done in London.
Sweet.
Which one of them, as I say, was just picked up for a film festival.
Yeah.
Indieverse Radio as well on Instagram.
Indieverse on radio on Instagram. And then Indie Rocks UK for the actual. I think it's Indie Rocks UK. I'm terrible at that.
All links are going to be in the description.
I'll
As always, I'm sure it's going to be shared around on our socials as well. Thanks very much for coming on, mate. Really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure,
Thanks for
mate.
having me.
Yeah, anytime. It's been right, laugh. I've enjoyed it.
Good. Yeah.
So we're back next week, won't we?
We're back next week.
Don't know about should we get in guests on. We've got a few guests lined up.
Yeah, we've got a few lined up.
Which
So
quite excited about hoodies.
If you want one,
if you want a hoodie, get in touch with us. We weren't going to sell these hoodies, and then we've had 6-7 people before we've even spoken about them anywhere, being like, "Oh, I want one. I'll give me one. I'll have one. Yeah, go on then."
Yeah.
So
if you want one, let us know.
get in touch with us. Yeah, definitely get in touch with us. But yeah, make sure you head down below, like, comment, subscribe, head on over, show Tom some love as well. Done us a favour by coming on. We shall see you next week, guys.
Bye.